Hello. Like this. Maybe a bit bigger. Okay. This is gonna be a short one, guys and gals and everyone in between or outside, left to right, up to down. I don't know. So I just actually wanted to like do a short, very short video. Well, not video, very short stream of like my final thoughts and things about like Time Stranger. Like general thoughts about it, and yeah, let's start like this. I don't know if I do gameplay in the background. I will, however, do I think I will do like parts of the Time Stranger soundtrack in the background because it's topical. Let's see if the Time Stranger soundtrack is there. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're starting with a sad song. Okay, sure. This song is fucking beautiful, by the way. I will do it like this, where we will have a web browser in the background, where I do like incognito mode, so you don't hear too much. That's a bit loud, but sure. So anyway, I will just quickly set up something on my web browser because I forgot it. How do I open a new private window there? Okay. And then we say web browser. Show that. So anyway, whoop, make that window smaller. Holy shit. This window is way too big. Let's do this. So I went to bed after yesterday, like literally, and this should not be a thing. Sec. Let's do one thing, and then I will. Let's do it like this. Okay. I need to like do it like this, where I can only. See, okay, it will work. So anyway, I tried to learn how to hide this. So what I wanted to talk about was like Time Stranger stuff, and I want to know one thing first. So I'm like going with like one like tier list. So I wanted to know how good Answald really was, like in general, because I feel like there's like other Digimon that are a bit better. I'm just going over like a general tier list, right? So I'm just like interested in like what the Digimon are and what they do and what they can actually use as abilities. It's kind of interesting. So this is like apparently like a tier list with like pros and cons. Best Digimon for post game, Jupitermon. Okay. So what I wanted to say was, so the entire game was really good, right? But first of all, about the Digimon, I was interested in how good Seraphimon is. Apparently, it's not even like in the top Digimon. There's like better ones, which is understandable with like that much of like a number of actual Digimon. You can clear the game with anything, I realized, but it's interesting. Oh, it's the English version now. Well, listen to the English version. But it's interesting to see none of my hard hitters on the top of the list, but all on the bottom. Here's Cherubimon. We have Seraphimon. And we have Ophanimon. Where's Clevis Angemon? Metal Gurumon, Wongramon, Sabariamon, Jupitermon, Miash, Gaugamon. Am I stupid? I have like problems seeing like some Digimon sometimes, but I don't think. Akurimon. There's some I've never seen in this game. The Knights are like pretty much low on the list. But that is like something that is just happening. Yeah. Like Zhejiangramon is, by the way, also a bit lower. Yeah. My dude is not even on the list. Freaking Clevis is not even on the list. He's so ass. You know what I find so annoying? That many of the many of the Digimon, sadly, you never see in the game. Cybersleuth had basically like all Digimon, I think, in like their quests, but only with like DLC and stuff. So let's be real about that. And after Equest Memory, I think I saw every Digimon, maybe like one or two I didn't. Like the very special ones, right? But with this, like, these are only the Megas, right? The Mega Pluses. Whoa, Platinum Numemon is up here. Why? What does Platinum Numemon do that's so good? Well, everyone can be 999 stats, right? Okay, that is kind of good. Platinum Burp is kind of good. So yeah, I just wanted to know, like, in general, like, Digimon tier list. Is there like another tier list? I'm interested. And there's like, what the fuck is this? No, I don't want a free Steam code. What the fuck? Yeah, give me. Cool. That didn't put it in the list, so I'm not reading that. Just kidding. But I'm not looking at tier lists and saying, oh, they're the non plus ultra. We beat the game very good. A-tier attackers. Bilzamon Kuzuamon. Bro, that my S-tier attackers that like not even my guys considered is sad. Seraphimon is a supporter. Yeah, I would say he's probably not as bad as defense as I would have thought. So in general, I think we're switching over to gameplay. Which will be okay. Let's switch over. We're like playing again, like for like 45 minutes, and then like I'm heading off actually. I can't stream for forever today. Bro, I have like this like shitty software. Okay. Should show up. Why is my starting screen not different? Is it only for one time? Music volume. No. So, I have like the thing. Wait, if I go back to the main menu from this. I'm interested. If I go back to this, it's funny that we're in the same area. But if I go back from this, return to title, well, yeah, this is like such a beautiful title screen. We'll switch over. We're staying here for a little while. So we played through the game. While I was like breakfasting earlier, like half an hour ago, I was reading if I did all quests. I did everything. It's done. It was basically everything that we see at content-wise, and I have like some strong feelings about this because this game is brilliant. This game is like probably one of the most fun experiences I had during the during like any JRPG. I think this was like super fun. Now we're going back into the game. What I really love about this game is how much shit you can interact with, and how this game like not only plays out, but how it just like is in general. It's such a labor of love game, what feels like, because it's like so intense. So this is what I feel like a Digimon game should feel. I think the last time I felt this kinda engrossed in a Digimon game, like design-wise, I think since Digimon 2003, which was also brilliant. Stylistically, this was great. I still don't know what I should think about this, but we'll get to that in just a minute. So, stylistically, brilliant game. It looks good. Like, the main character looks good. The cutscenes look good. I think there's barely anything that looks ass in this game, which is kind of hard to pull off sometimes, especially for anime. Just look at like, Sparking Zero and Super 3 Goku. He looks super bizarre. Like sometimes anime looks in 3D just look bad, but like especially Dan, he looks like really good. I know we haven't used much of like anything in this game. I have the costume DLC for this. I don't have the one for this. But I wouldn't like have worn this. Maybe this would have been the only thing I would have worn, but not the others. I think that is like a funny thing for like a later playthrough, just because it looks ridiculous. But yeah, it's like the only other uniform I wore was the Cyber Sleuth one, which I also love. But nothing else. I put her into the Cyber Sleuth outfit, and I put him not into the Cyber Sleuth outfit, which is fine. But yeah, I think the DLC is like unnecessary, especially this. I don't know. I mean, whoever likes this, okay, but I find it weird. Especially like the tactical beat shoes. They're like weird, but I find it as weird as like this. Like he looks like, I don't know, he looks like something that Guy Fieri would wear. And then like, this is like, I don't know, where is it? I need to go to the bottom right. This is also something I would not like put on my character, even though like it's nice and it's Japan, beachwear stuff, right? We haven't seen a lot of Digimon. I intend to either change that at some point and we do Mega Plus at some point. I heard it's fun to do Mega Plus, but you don't get any story changes. The only story change I know you get is when you don't do the Royal Knights quest. You get only the Omegamon shit and have a harder final battle, as far as I know. Where Omegamon does something, and then after he does something, he pisses off. Um, 475 Digimon. Great roster. I say the same thing about this as like with any other Digimon game. Digimon never had a full roster. And we should, like, people who get into Digimon should know that they have a rotating roster for Digimon that mostly fit. They have their regulars. The regulars are like the ones that are like, for example, there's barely any game except for like the very old ones where you don't have, for example, Gomamon, right? Where like the 8 chosen from like where the 8 chosen Digimon are not in. Same with like some other ones like Vmon. But for example, this is like in a long time, one of the few times where we have Hawkmon or like Armadillomon. Armadillomon was like Hacker's Memories, if I understand right. And move myself out of the way a bit, because we have this, and I can go to my usual corner, which people can sit there. I think people is nice if he sits there. Go into that corner. Good people. You don't need to be scared. I'm here. We have a great choice of Digimon. We have a lot of rookies this time around. I feel like we have like are those more rookies than we have ever had, because this is like crazy. We have a lot of champions. The first is Agiomon. I heard that in English they call him Agiomon. I call him Agiomon. I feel like the Japanese sounds better. I really love the field guide. What I miss a bit about the field guide is what they had in Cyber Sleuth, which were like one-liners to the Digimon. Basically like field guide entries. The field guide entries are really interesting. And I wish we had like more of them, especially like what they do on the Homeros server. They're like on Iliad. Well, yeah. What they do in the world of Iliad, that would have been interesting. I think some of them fit better than others. I don't think when I saw Wargromon for the first time, I know Wargromon is in there because it's one of the main Digimon. But sometimes I feel like Wargromon does not 100% fit, to be honest. Because this looks like a bit very clashing sometimes with like other stuff. That being said, there was a factorial area in Iliad, so well. What I really enjoy, let's start with this, is how Digivolution work. And how we have not only Digivolution, but also the entirety of the system. This character card is so good. This is such an improvement. Oh, it just stops at some point. Oh, okay. There's like Digimon that are like really cool, and some that are like really meh, and some that are like really bad, but I love it. That's like part of the story games that are like, you have like a bunch of Digimon, find what you're most comfortable with. I love how the field guide deletes the necessity of a wiki. That is like so fucking good. What I hated most in like Cyber Sleuth, especially in the post game, is that you needed to Google where you would get like an easy character reversal. Spoiler, it was Ramon because it was like level 15 or something like that. It was very early. But what I find most interesting about this is how, first of all, you have like which level they learn which skills, and then like you have like the normal, like what their normal skills are when you see them. And you can see like what their standard stats are, which is great for planning out Digivolutions. For example, if I know I want to have, say, Ophanimon, right? with like 2, 4, 5, and yeah. I know that I would at least needed to level her to 33 to get her to Ophanimon, and higher in some aspects to get her to like some other things. I really enjoyed the idea of DNA Digivolution in this game. You know why? So the main thing is like in like the older titles, they needed to always think like, how do we do DNA Digivolution? And it's very easy. First of all, you can either permanently do it like before, and I read that you have to de-digivolve into so basically what you need to do is like you have like Digivolution into something, and then like one of them disappears, and if you de-digivolve, you get both of them back, which is great. What I really enjoy about this is that you have like the moves. I think that is so cool that you can just say, okay, I need that move, but I have to separate Digimon. So if I want to, I can just use a combined move. It's very cool. I don't know the necessity of this. This is like good in like, I feel like this makes DNA Digivolution as a mechanic way, way, way better if you are doing a game playthrough. We got Mastermon earlier than we should have gotten, which is awesome. Like if we could use Mastermon's attacks just like for one attack if we needed to really funnel into something like very dangerous. But the roster overall, I'm not really missing anyone. There's like some Digimon like Arcadiamon and Hoodimon that are like missing, like some of the story exclusives from Cyber Sleuth. And also there's like some that are not only missing, but that I personally like would have loved to see. The problem is there's some archetypes. If you want to play an archetype team, which I did for this playthrough, I played with angels or tried to play with angels, you're not getting to that archetype. That's a big disadvantage. There's like 2 or 3 things they're like biting each other, in my opinion, mechanically, where you have one thing and you want to do another thing, but the game limits you so hard that you cannot do it. So, for example, this, if I wanted to play an entire holy theme, right? On champion, I don't have anything except for Angemon. Gatomon, of course, but other than that, we're like pretty much lacking, right? Which is not bad. This game is not intended like, oh, I want to have a theme, right? You can do this, but you don't need to. The themes usually come at the highest level, which would be like here where we were, which is fine. I could have gone with Marine Angemon as like another angel. I didn't want to. But yeah, I could have also like played with Holy Beasts as well. That way I would have like had a very bigger like span of Digimon. For example, going Patamon Unimon. Where is he? Patamon, Unimon, and then like we could have gone with Chirimon. I don't know what he can digivolve into, but I think that is like Eaglemon or whatever. I wish like Chirimon could have turned to Holy Dramon because no. Oh, there is an info card. Sorry. I'm sorry, there is an info card. Strike that. I didn't know that it was like there was an info card. Do some not have an info card? Yeah, they do. Or does Nanimon not have one? Because I was like, I looked at Nanimon, right? I didn't see an info card. Or was it just because I looked in the wrong place? Where's Nanimon? Nanimon, where are you? There, I see you. No, okay. Sorry. They have info cards. I'm sorry. They're just in the field guide. Sorry. Yeah, but like in general, I would have like at some point taken some beasts as well, because let's be real, at some point you're like, okay, I don't have any more choices here. Can I Digimorph back to Patamon? Yeah, back to this. Back to this. Not Pegasusmon. So next would be Hippogriffmon, and then we could have gone also not Holy Dramon. What can Holy Dramon become? Holy fuck. There's like a lot of like, what I wanted to say is like, there's a lot of Digimon, a lot of lines, and some themes are really, really cool that you can play. Oh my god, Megidramon. Yeah, I love Megidramon. It's such a cool design. I wish they kept this as like Guildmon's Mega. Even though I love Gallantmon, but I'm just evolving some people because I just want to show something. So what I really love is also is like this thing. So I feel like focusing on like your main 6 guys is never at a disadvantage if you have like spare guys as well. I think in a second playthrough I will use the Digifarm way more because this is fucking broken. The Digifarm is so broken. Not because it's a bad mechanic. Well, it is somewhat it is. It's somewhat intertwined into like being a bad mechanic as well. The No, let's not talk about the Digifarm right now. The Digifarm is like in just a few minutes. So what I really do like while we're talking about the stats, let's keep the stats. First of all, stats in general. I love that every stat can be maxed. You can make every Digimon viable to play through the game, which is great for challenge runs. And I love how every Digimon has their own, well, not necessarily their own weaknesses, but like by definition of what they are, right? For example, right now my Floramon has like weakness fire and weakness machine, right? Or steel. If I go with, say, Kiwimon, our best boy, I need to like do a playthrough. He is like still the same. Okay, that's sad. I find it interesting that some of the Digimon have like very different elemental resistances. For example, Blimpmon, maybe we get you like something different. Are weak to electric? Nope, that's totally different. So they have like most or many Digimon have like different weaknesses and strengths, depending on like which Digimon they are, which makes fighting a new Digimon interesting. I found myself really enjoying the entire thing where we just like try to figure out what is it that the Digimon is weak against. Goldramon. Let's get him. I would have taken this guy as well at some point. Godflame. All enemies. And you get... Oh, this is like good actually. At least for farming. Amathon has like no requirements, dude. There's like some real stinkers. Metal Marmamon, right? Yeah, I've never seen Metal Marmamon. I love Metal Marmamon. It's one of my favorite, like, ultimates even. Like, I love Metal Marmamon so much. It can turn into Marukimon, right? That's no, that's not Marukimon. That's someone else. Anyway, I love the Digivolution in general because you get like so much of the decks and you get so much information from actively participating in Digivolution. That is very important, actually. That you fill your field guide. The field guide gives you actually, like having the field guide filled gives you a tactical advantage, which is great in my opinion. Like that was like the best idea they had with like the field guide. To say, okay, the field guide tells you basically if you scan the enemy, what their weaknesses are. I love that if you scan enemies, like scanning in combat has an advantage, that you see their stats. That being said, I really, really wish they would have just done a few things differently. First of all, let's talk about the statage. And then that's why we get to the Digifarm now. So stats in this game work like this. Your Digimon has base stats, right? These base stats are made for level 1. Level 1 stats are basically what the Digimon should have as a baseline. And then after it has a certain amount of like stats reached, right? It can Digivolve. So that's like how Digivolution works, right? For the most part. There's some that are like a bit different. At least we don't have ABI, dude. That is like... ABI was horrible. We're getting to that as well. So, how stats work is, my Titamon, for example, has 2,936 36 attack, and all of those around about 10%, so like 200 something, like 290 94, because we round up probably, go to the ducks, to our egg if we get there. You see those stats when you digivolve to that, and that's like what you get. So these stats are higher. Next time I like, oh no, someone not, doesn't matter. So if I digivolve again to Titamon, it gets those stats back again. So you see on the top the Digivolution history. That means how often you digivolve, and you can do that up to like the number of talent you have at max 100. That's how it works. It's kind of good because you can like basically say, okay, this is the time where I just digivolve my Digimon and give them higher stats, and so you at the end have like everyone at very, very high stats, right? So you can like get into like other Digimons easier from digivolving. It's better than the ABI solution, which was horrible. ABI was in Subsleuth. They did away with this and it got talent. ABI said basically your Digimon can have this amount of extra stats in your like in like other stats that it should not normally have. So you could like train, for example, in attack and get just like higher stats there for like the ABI. So yeah, like always, like the designs of the Digimon, holy shit. When I saw the first trailers, I was like, okay, they look flashy, but they're probably not as good in game. They're as good in game. The fucking Digimon models are so good. They worked their asses off for this one. Like, you should comment this. Like, even the old designs look so clean. They look like actually very clean. Like, they look really good. And I'm very, very happy that they do. Like, you can botch this so easily, and they didn't do it. Like, they look like so much more alive than in Cyber Sleuth. And you see some cut corners, and quote unquote, like, of course, like Cherrymon is not like has like reliefs. That would be like a bit ridiculous. They cut some corners on some like designs, right? Where they said, okay, instead of doing this like that, like for example, instead of like doing like well animated humans, because we didn't need those in this game actually, to be entirely honest. Instead of doing that, we are just making everyone in the crowd faceless. And I think that has like such a good anime aesthetic as well. There's such a clean and good idea to do. To actually support like your art style that way. Time jump. Can we time jump to 8 years ago? Yeah. It's such a good idea to do that because all in all, this entire thing, like these entire crowds, can we get to a crowd quickly? Like, I like that they are faceless. First of all, it saves memory. Second of all, you don't need to animate faces. Third of all, like, you get like a bit more pronounced. Every single person that is important, like as an interactable, and they make them walk through. So like they don't block your path. They can make full streets and have like people like still not block your way. I feel like it's a bit more like it also gives like an artistic like difference between when you have like the Digiworld, where the Digiworld has like everyone has a face because everyone is a Digimon, so they just take the models. But it makes like the world feel different automatically, like artistically. It's really interesting, like as an approach. But yeah, like overworld, really good. I really love the human world. It's okay. Like I say all the time, it's a bit sad that I cannot just find my way around this town. Cybersleuth did a better job with that, but you were in the like main world for the most part of the game, so like that was your overworld, and you would like get to know it. While in Time Stranger, it is a bit different. It's like 50-50. But yeah, I feel like it's very cool to like run around this place and have like it feel way better than Cyber Sleuth. Like huge improvements. I know it's been like years. Was it already 10 years since that game? But like, it's like it plays so nice. The overworld tracking stuff, I just at some point didn't bother anymore because it wasn't important. Because everything that was connected to like overworld exploration was unimportant, and that is like a big minus. The overworld exploration is, as much as I love the world, like I don't know what I should do with that shit. What do I do with gravel sets and stuff like that? There's like 3 items that are good. The rest are like stat boosts that you can just buy for money, and that's that. But yeah, it's a bit like, I don't know. Same with like other mechanics that are shit. The card game, it's ass. Like, it's actually ass. I'm not doing that again. The card game was bad. First, the card game, it's a nice collectathon, and I know it's like probably supposed to be, where it's like, oh, collect all the cards, please, right? I'm lacking only 80 cards now. And if you do that, you get like all these like nice cards, and in the end you have like all this like beautiful art, which is great actually. Like the art is really good. I don't know who Ukumon is. I have a feeling that it is like a little bit of a teaser. No, it's for Gammamon, right? It's Gammamon's baby. Right, sorry, I forgot. But yeah, I feel like many of these are just like there. Like this entire like thing is there. It's not good. I would not do it again. Only for like the 2 quests that are necessary to do it with. I would do it again. But yeah, this is like a bad mechanic. Talking about bad mechanics, I think load enhancements is a very cool mechanic. I like it because it like says, okay, you don't want to have like 5 Mamemons and you have like one of that's stronger, and you don't want to digivolve your Digimon. So if you take this and load the others into that, they boost their stats. That's a very nice touch. We will use that in our challenge run very often, I think. The shops are just there. I like the idea, like I really like that, like the food vendor, why not this one, the other one, the supermarket, this one, says, okay, you can buy a barbecue set, and that's basically just the same as like SP spray or HP spray one. I like the idea of that. I don't care for the cosmetics because most of them don't have the cool anime look. I like the cool anime look. Our main character's drip is so immaculate. I don't want him to like look different. But yeah, that's that. Fighting. Talk about fighting. I love that every piercing attacks are gone, which is great. Best thing about the entire thing is like piercing attacks are gone. We're talking about the story tonight, I think. While we are just like chilling and doing a little bit of like just like vibing. I like that everyone has like I think there's no mega I haven't seen that does at least like mega or ultimate that does not do like bonus damage to a certain trait. And this leads us also to the trait system, which is great that everyone has a trait. For example, like do our Digimon have traits? No. So every enemy has traits. So there's some traits that are like better than others. For example, evil. In the end, we had like so many evil enemies, so we bursted everyone down, right? But there's like traits that are like so much worse, like insect. It's like for one arc in like the entire thing, and like for one outer dungeon. But like you can boost your damage to absurd highs if you like know your shit. If you know your attacks and know your traits and stuff, it's like really good. It will, however, result in you neglecting these. These are like backup attacks. I like at the start you use them very often because you use them less and less the attachment skills. Because the more you have other stuff, the less you just like use them. I think I used like Gaia Blaster and Shock Plasma only if I could like hit with Testament or Seven Heavens. That being said, I think also a nice addition. Character reversal is back, and I like that reverse is a status attribute, and the status attribute can be revoked, and also that the or dispelled, and that like it also affects types and not only the virus, data, and vaccine dynamic. I like that there's so many different other types. I wish they would have like a different like triangle of interaction, but that's just my personal preference. But like armor that is a bit stronger against like, for example, the spirits, and spirits are like against untyped and untyped are against armor. That would have been better, or the other way around. Other than that, I think yeah, I if I would do this run again, I would probably also incorporate the Holy Beasts, but like I also would like look more into like attacks. I couldn't be bothered after a while because it just didn't matter anymore because we were one-shotting everything. Like even like into like before we 999'd everything, we were one-shotting like most of the enemies or like two-shotting them. And that's like a very big minus on my part, that like even like the final boss, if the final boss wasn't a scripted event and it was like basically 5 to 6 back-to-back fights, we would have just like killed him instantly. Like we skipped phases. Like no, we didn't skip phases, but we skipped into the next phase with one attack, and that's like one of the things I still don't like. Magic charge and spell boost and acceleration boost are both now different attacks, which is great. But I wish they were not only different attacks, but I wish they would not exist in the way they do. I think they are like bad attacks, because they make it like so much like you don't like people don't understand why acceleration boost is like so much better than like attacking twice. Because acceleration boost like flat out doubles your attack against the defense that is not doubled. You know what I mean? Like for example, like, say, let's make it very simple. I have 5 defense and I have 10 attack. If I attack twice, I attack with 20 against 10. If I do acceleration boosted attack, I attack 20 against 5. That's the math behind that. That's like very simple math here. And so like, that's my big problem, that acceleration boost just is too strong. It's just too strong because you can do one-shot turns. And we did that a lot because we just buffed, bang, and then you kill. I think we need to talk about like different stuff at a different time actually, because I've been yapping for 45 minutes and we've like just come to the screen actually. And the main thing is, I love the stats. I love that int is not a single stat anymore. It was as, and they did the same thing that Gen 1 Pokemon did, where like int is a single stat and it's just too overpowered. Because it makes it untouchable. SPI is a nice stat addition and it gives you like a little bit more variety. Especially in raising, because you just don't need to raise int all the time. You need to raise SPI and int or something like that. So you need to like look out for like different stats the entire time, especially when digivolving and digivolving. Yeah, then we are like talking about the what I also find interesting. We're like going through the character sheet here right now. I really like the personalities. I know that there's like 2 personality skills, I think, per personality that you can roll. There's a common one and a rare one. And there's like broken ones even. There's like one that is on, I think, Brave. Or on, no, wait, setup Digimon. I think there's one on Daring, and I think there's one on Strategic, I think. Let me not be like, or was it Devoted? No, it was Strategic, I think. And Devoted is like, those are like the 3 good ones, I think. I don't know if Opportunistic had like one good, like there's like one that says, okay, if you have like a certain amount of HP, I think then you hit twice with an attack, which is like you perform the attack twice, which is fucking broken. If it's like hits extra, you can like do like so much great shit with like acceleration boost. And then there's like one where it says you can have more than max HP. And the other one is like, you can overheal or something like that. It's like crazy. There's like crazy like things. But we have like Astute and had this. This was like absolutely fine. But yeah, like the entire thing is like really cool. I like that your Digimon had like questions and basically answering them would move your entire thing across this like graph. And while you do this and talk to them, I find it weird that some answers are just mean, but I don't give a shit. Like the Digimon like does not lose bond if you don't answer. So I didn't see like any big point in like answering like negatively. But like I really like that you could like in the end like move around this and get like different boosts, and you didn't even need to like take that boost. For example, I didn't need to, I wasn't forced by going Astute to like take that skill, which is also kind of nice, because you could like do some fun like combos with that. You had like very much power as a player, which is also like really good. But yeah, like mostly playing with angels, it was like the mid game was not fun, like in some parts, because it was only like I only had like Magnangemon, and he would just use Heaven's Gato, and then like Gunabait over here as like Ophanimon. When Gunabait still was an Angewomon, she would just like soften targets up. I like the synergies that way. Like I like that you had like you could just soften your enemy up by reducing their stats and then like also their resistances. So you like, I like the idea that because like Seraphimon, for example, is resistant against holy damage, or light damage, sorry, against light damage, we could just give him enough items that he became even like immune or like get like a neutral to darkness. I really like that idea. That was like really cool in concept, but I would need to see that as like higher difficulty than hard. It's kind of sad that we don't get Mega and Mega Plus as like really hard difficulties, at least Mega as like a really hard difficulty from a new game. Hard was too easy, in my opinion, way too easy. Again, I went around one-shotting the bosses because the game allowed me to. It gives you a bit too much power, in my opinion. I would probably, in a challenge run, I would refrain, except if I need to, use the speed boost option of the Digifarm, because that is, like, ridiculous. Like, the Digifarm was so overpowered, dude. So overpowered. Once I understood, it costs 10,000 to just flat-out boost the stats. And my agent skills, oh, I think I have everything. Yeah, let's get all of the agent skills quickly. And I had the agent skills on like my wise Digimon, which like most of the angelic Digimon are. I got maximum level. Hooray! Once I understood that the entire thing, like astute, well, compassionate, that was like the odd one out, but astute, brave, like. Once I got like the skill points into like the stats, and I just sent them to Digifarm once, like Answald got like from like the type 3 training, if I boosted it, in like 5 seconds he got like 400 stat, like instantly, and that was like way too much, and it got more and more because you get like 10% more over time. Like, no, not only 10% more, like a big boost in general. Every time you got like stats. So that was a kind of like crazy, and it escalated a bit much because like look at how like these sets, like these are Digimon. Examon I've never used, and that is like kind of crazy to me that like Examon is like like this Digimon that has crazy stats, and I've never seen it in fight on my side. Not saying that it's like bad or anything. Again, like I'm talking just flat out about the stats and statting. The Digifarm is just broken. I would not have done the Digifarm that way. I think the time skip option would be great as like a post-game thing, where you say, oh, you can manipulate time by like using money or something like that now, and then you can just get 999 stats. I would have just tried to forbid the player to get high stats too early. Yeah, special skills I talked about. Resistance I talked about. I think I talked about everything on top. Leveling is awesome. That you level everyone, it's so good. Let's talk about attachment skills quickly. Big choice of attachment skills. Some of them really good because they give you like bonuses. I love that everyone can learn every attachment skill, so you have like a very variable like stat spread. And you can pick your favorite Digimon. That's the most important thing. You can just take your favorite Digimon and play with it. That's so fucking good. Because like you can have everyone deal damage. The attachment skill deals less damage than like a normal one, but not significantly. Like, what is this? We did the math. 91 damage to like 85. It's basically nothing. And this is like crazy. You get so many items. I could just for shits and giggles, like so many courage points. I could push Answald further. He's like in the 70s now. Like I could go further and further. It doesn't matter, right? Doesn't also matter really because like you have so many like Talent Awakening boosters. You have like so many chips. You get the game gives you stats en masse, right? One What I find nuts is how they give you always like another party member. I find that the guest members are really interesting. Like Digimon, for example, that you can like keep him the entire time. Digimon is very broken. We get to that when I'm back home later, or tomorrow in the morning. But yeah, that's so much about the stats and the moves. The moves are like, you have like everything from like boost moves. Some of them really good. The single target boosts are really good, and those fields are very good if you have like multiple of the, like if you have a certified buffer, then like a certified support, you can like keep 2 people on your party at max stats. But the combat is so short that you don't need that. The debuffs are there. I like the idea of the debuffs. I think next time I will need to be relying on those more. I like the special moves that give you like certain things, and I love that the sorting system. Equipment is, as always, there's like really good items, and then there's like the standard stuff. I like the story equipment, Nonbug, and also Adamon's Bling and stuff like that. This is like very important for like harder runs, but yeah. I don't like some others, however. For example, like, I don't know what anyone is going to do with like some items like, I don't know, 50 int. I wish they were like more creative in that. But yeah, that's like everything to like Digivolution and to like the Digimon and to the character sheet. I would go to like music and story and like everything that was going on later, because I need to go now. I know it's kind of spontaneous, but I actually need to head off. So yeah, if you want to join again later, we will do that. We will talk about other stuff still, and then probably later go on and maybe play something. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to start the challenge run. I want to plan that one out. But yeah, we will see each other tonight then, and yeah, hear from one another. So I wish you the best. See you around. See you later.